So I am with Eduardo Mansur, who is Director of the Land Division of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. And we are just at the end of an event. So what happened here this morning?
Thank you very much, Oliver. It's very good to have Regeneration International participating in the event. What we discussed here was soil pollution contamination. It's a side event of the Plenary Assembly of the Global Soil Partnership that is formed by governments and entities, institutions that had 2 days discussion on different topics, and the issue of soil pollution and contamination, which is one of the 10 major threats to soils, raised up very high. We had here a number of presentations from Latin America and from Europe on how soils are affected by contamination, but most important, how food is affected by soil contamination. And then, even more important for us, how our health and our bodies are affected by soil and agriculture products that are contaminated by contaminated or polluted soils. It's a big problem that we have not addressing sufficiently. Everybody recognizes that it has to be addressed. It has been scaling up with the issue that we have to produce more, but we have to produce more. We have a growing population, we have a growing demand, but we have to produce more with less. And less including less chemicals that could cause damage to human health, to nature. Soils are a big provider of ecosystem services. To provide ecosystem services, they have to be healthy. One of the beauty of soils is the biodiversity in soil. And we have to maintain a healthy soil with a healthy biodiversity in it to produce healthy foods, to have services that are provided for ecosystems. So the debate run around this issue. Is it possible to eliminate the use of pesticides or fertilizers? The conclusion of the debate was that it's not impossible to eliminate, but we have to move towards changing mindsets, changing habits, educating people from farmers to consumers. While farmers have to understand the way of producing more with less inputs and in a more organic or natural related way, consumers have to be ready to accept that products coming from organic farming or coming from less impactant agriculture or sustainable agriculture would have different aspects and different formats, would be more nutritious and less damaging for their health. So this was the debate today. I think it was very interesting for all of us. Different perspectives from private sector, from governments, from the civil society, and from farmers that can bring up what is to be changed to make sure that we produce in a sustainable way.
Breaking the mindsets. We've been living in a technological era since the 60s in agriculture, and it seems like now we need to shift to a more biological era, more understanding how nature functions and how we can farm with nature.
Yes, I think you said it all. We are using the model of intensive production that was developed mostly in the 60s. Now we are talking about sustainable intensification. Is it scary to talk about sustainable intensification? Here in the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, we don't think so. We mirror sustainable intensification with ecosystems that are sustainably productive. Of course, we deal with food production in production ecosystems. And the food that's produced in production ecosystem has to be done in a way that the ecosystem is perpetuated. I like very much the French word for sustainability. They change it for durable. The durability, the idea that it has to have a sequence. And we have to think long term.
Yeah.
Instead of having this immediate large amount, we have to have a way that the population that will grow will receive healthy foods from healthy ecosystems, which include healthy soils. So I'm not afraid of sustainable intensification. I don't think anybody should be, but it has to have the sustainable first and then intensification after.
Well, at Regeneration International, our understanding is that beyond sustainability, there is regeneration. And regeneration could mean basing infinite growth of food on restoring damaged ecosystems.
Indeed, restoration has a huge role to play. We have estimations vary because it depends how you want to approach degraded land. But minimum, the planet has about 800 million hectares, depending on the criteria. The IUCN estimates it up to 2 billion hectares. We are talking about 4 billion hectares of productive land. Out of it, half would be degraded. So the potentiality to increase production from restoration of ecosystems, restoration of production ecosystems included, I think is huge. You know, there is lots to learn from traditional agricultural systems. As I told you before, FAO hosts the globally important agricultural heritage systems. It's a program supported by various governments that try to conserve and scale up traditional agricultural experience, traditional food systems that exist in different parts of the world, like in the oases of the Near East, North Africa, like in the so-called Satoyama of Japan, like in the case of the Andean agriculture that has been produced in the slopes of Peru for production of seeds. Traditional agriculture has lots to teach us in the way that we can regenerate for sustainable food.
Well, in that case, we could say that possibly the way forward is the way backwards.
Well, we are going to be 9 billion, a bit more in 2030, maybe 10 billion thereafter. We have to cope with the need of the growing population that has changing food habits and growing demand. So I'm not nostalgic in the sense that we have to go back to the past, but I think the past has lots to tell us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you for your time.